A car so unsuccessful that Toyota couldn't even sell 3,000 units a year in America and was ultimately discontinued because nobody wanted it. Fast forward to today, and that same rejected automobile is selling for over $200,000 at auction. Here's how a complete sales failure transformed into a six-figure collector's dream. To understand the Supra's remarkable resurrection, we need to rewind to 1978. Toyota's Supra lineage started humbly as a derivative of the Celica, evolving through multiple generations. The MK1 and MK2 models were respectable, but nothing extraordinary. Then came 1986. Toyota launched the MK3 Supra, the A70 chassis, as their technological showcase. This was the first standalone Supra, no longer riding the Celica's coattails. Under the hood sat a new 3.0-liter 7MGE engine, or, if you wanted the serious stuff, the turbocharged 7MGTE, pumping out 231 horsepower. The car featured cutting-edge tech for the 80s, TEMS electronic suspension, optional targa tops, four-wheel disc brakes, and double wishbone suspension. Toyota threw everything at this car. But here's the problem. Despite all this innovation, the MK3 had a dark secret that would haunt the entire Supra lineage for decades. From 1987 to 1992, Toyota sold just 45,375 units total in the United States. Why? Because the car weighed over 3,500 pounds. Absolutely porky for a sports car. It handled like a luxury cruiser, not a canyon carver. Buyers faced reliability nightmares, head gasket failures on turbo models, rust-prone moldings, and a price tag that made competitors look like bargains. By 1992, used MK3 Supras traded hands for $10,000 to $15,000. Nobody wanted them. The Mazda RX-7 and Nissan 300ZX were destroying it in showrooms and on the streets, but Toyota wasn't giving up. In 1993, at the Chicago Auto Show, they unveiled their masterpiece, the MK4 Supra, chassis code A80. This was supposed to save everything. Imagine walking up to this machine for the first time. Sleek, curved bodywork, pop-up headlights, and under that long hood, the legendary 2JZ engine, a 3-liter twin turbocharged inline-6, producing 320 horsepower and 315 pound-feet of torque. Toyota paired it with a 6-speed manual transmission, one of the first in a Japanese car. They equipped it with every luxury feature imaginable. The automotive journalists went crazy. This was the Japanese supercar killer, the Porsche competitor. Wait, something went terribly wrong. The price, $40,000 to $50,000. In 1993 money. That's about $80,000 today. And Americans in the 90s? They were buying SUVs, not expensive sports cars. The economy was in recession. Gas was a concern. The numbers tell a brutal story. Toyota sold 2,884 Supras in 1994, the launch year. By 1998, under 1,000 units. The MK4 Supra wasn't just failing, it was bombing harder than its predecessor. The car weighed 3,900 pounds, felt ponderous against the lighter Corvette C4 and RX-7, and reviewers criticized its complex electronics and unreliability. In 1998, Toyota pulled the plug on US sales, citing emissions compliance costs. The Supra appeared dead, a failure twice over. But here's what Toyota and most of the world didn't realize yet. They'd accidentally created something legendary. The 2JZ engine. 6 simple letters that would change automotive history forever. This 3-liter inline-6 featured an iron block, not aluminum, with a closed deck design. It had a forged crankshaft, robust connecting rods, hyper-eutectic pistons, and oil squirters for cooling. Toyota had massively over-engineered it. Wait, something went terribly wrong. Because in the hands of tuners, this engine could do something absolutely insane. While Toyota officially rated it at 320 horsepower, the 2JZ could handle 600 horsepower, 800, 1,000. Some pushed it beyond 1,500 horsepower on the stock block with stock internals below 800 horses. The secret was over-engineering. That iron block could withstand over 40 pounds per square inch of boost pressure. The forged internals were indestructible. Honda owners with their fragile B-Series engines watched in disbelief as Supra owners bolted on bigger turbos and made double, triple, quadruple the power without engines exploding. Tuners in Southern California started pioneering big single-turbo setups. They'd remove the twin C T12 turbos, install a massive Garrett G T35R, upgrade injectors and fuel systems, flash the ECU, and boom. 600 to 800 wheel horsepower, reliably. The math was insane. $5,000 in modifications equaled 500 horsepower. Try doing that with any other engine platform. Online forums like supraforums.com, launched in 1999, democratized this knowledge. Tuners shared ECU flashes, dyno sheets, build threads. The Supra became the poster child of JDM tuning culture. Veil-side wide-body kits, HKS turbos, coilovers, exhausts. But the world still didn't know. The Supra was still just a weird, failed Japanese GT car. That was about to change. If you're enjoying this deep dive into how failures become legends, make sure you like this video and subscribe, because the story of the Supra only gets crazier from here. June 22nd, 2001. The Fast and the Furious hits theaters. Paul Walker's character driving a brilliant orange 1993 Supra. The car's got a massive wing, aftermarket wheels, custom paint, and then the nitrogen oxide scene. The Supra lines up against a Ferrari. Underdog versus supercar. Walker hits the nitrous button. The engine screams, the turbos spool, and the Supra pulls ahead, destroying the Ferrari. The movie grossed $207 million worldwide. That single scene created a cultural earthquake, and then something strange started happening to Supra prices. Before the movie, clean MK4 Supras traded for $30,000 to $40,000. Nice cars, sure, but nothing special. After the movie, parts suppliers reported a 300% surge in Supra-related sales. Suddenly, everyone wanted one. The Fast and Furious franchise spawned sequel after sequel, and every film reinforced the Supra legend. That orange hero car, it sold at auction in 2021 for $550,000. Over $500,000 for a movie prop. Replicas. Not even the real car fetched over $100,000. The movie had transformed the Supra from sales failure to pop culture icon. But this was only half the story. While Hollywood created the street legend, something else was happening on professional racetracks. Enter the Tom's Castrol Supra. That iconic white and green livery became the terror of Japanese GT championship racing, the precursor to modern Super GT. In 1995, the Castrol Supra made its debut at Sendai Circuit, and it won. First race! From 1995 to 2003, the Castrol Supra dominated. It shattered Nissan Skyline's stranglehold on Japanese racing. The racing program even continued after something devastating happened in 2002. That year, Toyota discontinued the MK4 Supra entirely. Emissions regulations, slumping sales, under 10,000 units globally per year. It was over. Production stopped. The Supra was dead. But those Castrol Supras? Teams kept racing them until 2006, 4 years after production ended. That's how good they were. In 2020, a restored 1998 Castrol Supra even returned to the track for anniversary celebrations. The racing pedigree proved something crucial. The Supra wasn't just a straight-line drag car. It had legitimate motorsports DNA. This would matter for collectors later. 2002. The final MK4 Supra rolled off the production line. Toyota entered a 17-year hiatus from the Supra nameplate. For US enthusiasts, this created a strange situation. The Supra was discontinued, but it wasn't forgotten. In fact, its absence made it more desirable. You see, the US has the 25-year import rule. You can't import foreign market cars until they're 25 years old. So from 1993 to 2018, JDM right-hand drive Supras with better specs, like the twin-turbo variants making more power, were illegal. But in 2018, that floodgate opened. Suddenly, thousands of clean Japanese Supras could legally enter the country. Meanwhile, Toyota announced something that divided the community. In 2019, Toyota revealed the MK5 Supra, the A90 chassis. There was just one problem. It was based on the BMW Z4. It used BMW's B58 engine, BMW electronics, BMW everything. Purists revolted. "It's not a real Supra," they said. "It's a Z4 in disguise." Forums exploded with anger. And you know what? Sales proved them right. The MK5 sold just 2,652 units in the US in 2023, despite adding a manual transmission option that everyone claimed to want. Sound familiar? Just like the MK4, the new Supra was bombing, and by 2025, discontinuation rumors swirled again. But this time, something different happened to the old car's value. Let's talk about money. Real money. In 2021, a low-mileage 1995 MK4 Turbo, 7,000 miles on the odometer, Renaissance Red, 6-speed manual, sold on Bring a Trailer for $200,000. That was a 67% increase from a similar car sold just months earlier for $121,000. The market was exploding. A 1998 Quicksilver Supra with 22,000 miles? $308,000. A DEA drug seizure car at auction. Paul Walker's stunt car replica, not even the real hero car? Over 100 grand. By 2025, the market stabilized but remained stratospheric. Clean turbo models with documentation trade between $150,000 and $250,000. Even naturally aspirated non-turbo Supras, the slow ones that nobody wanted, now fetch $80,000 to $120,000.
But why? What's driving these insane prices?
Three factors converge perfectly. First, rarity. Toyota sold just 47,000 turbo Supras in the United States. Many were crashed, modified beyond recognition, or exported. Clean stock examples? Maybe 5,000 left. Second, the 2JZ Mystique. That bulletproof engine means 300,000-mile survivors still exist and run perfectly. Tuning potential means every Supra is one modification away from supercar performance. Third, cultural cachet. Fast and Furious created millions of fans who grew up with Supra posters. Now those fans are in their 30s and 40s with disposable income. Millennial wealth meeting childhood dream. The math is staggering. Buy a Supra for $20,000 in 2010, sell it today for $200,000. That's a 900% return. What other car appreciates 20 to 30% yearly? So let's address the elephant in the room. How does the legendary MK4 stack up against the controversial MK5? The new Supra is objectively faster, 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds versus the MK4's 4.9. It's lighter, 3,400 pounds versus 3,900. The B58 engine makes 382 horsepower stock and can be tuned to around 600 reliably. On paper, the MK5 should be better in every way.
So why do collectors pay 4 times more for the older car?
Because cars aren't just specifications. The MK4 has soul. That inline-6 2JZ sounds like thunder. Sequential turbo spool creates addictive power delivery. Pop-up headlights, target top, manual transmission connected to a purely mechanical engine. No drive-by-wire, no fake engine sounds piped through speakers. The MK5's B58 is a great engine, no question, but it's a BMW engine. The tuning community is growing, sure, but it carries BMW stigma. Forums debate endlessly whether it's a real Supra. The MK4 represents purity. Japanese engineering at its peak, before corporate partnerships and cost-cutting. It's the last standalone Toyota Supra, the last with Toyota's legendary inline-6 DNA. Collector cars are never about being the fastest or newest. They're about significance, emotion, and story. The MK4 has all three. It failed in its time, disappeared for 17 years, became a Hollywood star, conquered racetracks, and emerged as an investment-grade collectible. The MK5? It's just another car that happens to wear the badge. Let's get specific about what collectors chase. Not all Supras are created equal. Pristine, one-owner turbo models with complete service records? Those command premium prices. Manual transmissions vastly outvalue automatics. We're talking 50 to 70% more. Original paint matters, numbers matching components. Collectors pay forensic attention to detail. Are the turbos original CT12S? Does the VIN match production records? Any accident history? The most valuable aren't even the fastest, they're the survivors. Stock, unmodified examples that escape the tuner craze. The cars nobody wanted to modify because they were too nice are now six-figure gold mines. But there's one category of Supra that breaks all pricing rules. Movie cars, provenance cars, Paul Walker's Hero Supra at $550,000? That's not about the car, it's about the story. Limited editions like the twin-turbo Targa with factory hardtop, rare colors like Quicksilver or Renaissance Red, these aren't cars anymore. They're cultural artifacts. Museums display them. Investors store them in climate-controlled garages. Insurance policies rival small houses. Here's the twist. While new MK5 Supras depreciate like normal cars, losing 20 to 30% driving off the lot, MK4 values keep climbing. It's appreciated consistently for 15 years. Financial advisors actually discuss Supras as alternative investments now.
Oh! Is that a Supra? Dude, is it a Supra?
Move over, stocks and bonds. So let's come full circle. How does a failed car become a $200,000 icon? It's not one thing, it's everything. The Supra earned its legacy through engineering excellence. The 2JZ engine achieved legendary status because it delivered on promises, reliability, tunability, performance. Toyota over-engineered something special. It earned its legacy through pop culture. The Fast and Furious didn't just feature a Supra, it made the Supra synonymous with car culture for an entire generation. That orange machine burned into millions of minds. It earned its legacy through motorsports. Those Castrol Supras proved racing pedigree. 4 championships, wins against Porsches and GTRs. Respect earned on track. And it earned its legacy through timing. Toyota discontinued it just as tuning culture exploded. The absence made hearts grow fonder. The import restrictions created mystique.
But what about the future? Where does the Supra legend go from here?
Rumors swirl about electric Supras.
Toyota's EV push means combustion engines are living on borrowed time. The MK5 faces discontinuation again. But the MK4? It's immortal now. Classic car status means values will only climb as survivors dwindle. 25 years from now, we'll talk about MK4 Supras the way we discuss air-cooled Porsche 911S today. From sales failure to auction royalty, from discontinued disappointment to collectible crown jewel. That's not just a comeback, that's automotive redemption. So would you rather own a pristine stock MK4 Supra as an investment, or a modified beast making 1,000 horsepower? Comment below and let me know. And if you enjoyed diving deep into automotive legends like this, hit that subscribe button. We've got more stories coming your way.